Marketing. We all know that it's important for our businesses. We all know that if people don't see us, they can't think about us. Now, how do we do it? How do we do it well? And how do we do it with consistency? So this week we have with us Anna-Vija McClain, who owns a marketing agency for small businesses. So she shares with us a lot of insight, a lot of ideas and actions and mistakes that we do as small business owners. We do not have a marketing department of 10 people. We do not have a budget of $3.4 million to put in marketing. So how do we do marketing in a way that fits also our business model? That is what we talk about today. So let's go to my interview. Anna-Vija, thank you so much for accepting my invitation today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So we had a conversation a couple of days ago, or a couple of weeks ago while I was at the spa on marketing. And
I dragged you out of the spa. It was terrible. Yeah.
But it was all good because it was a very zen conversation.
Sure.
So before we dive into the topic of marketing, could you introduce yourself so people get to know you, please?
Absolutely. So my name's Anna-Vija, and I'm the founder and CEO of Piccolo. We are a marketing agency based out of Nashville, Tennessee, but we have people that work with us from all over the country. So we're sort of a cohort of experts. We specialize in helping small to mid-sized businesses with regular marketing efforts. So we're not like a branding agency or like we're going to 10x your results with, very specific. We come into businesses that are saying, I need help with marketing on a daily, regular basis for consistency and top of mind awareness. And I want it to be good and it needs to get done. And that's where we come in. So we do the strategy and then we also stick around and do all of the marketing work.
Mm-hmm. The execution part.
The execution. Yeah. We are all about systems and just like efficiency processes. So it really, the big result is that it's saving time and stress from our clients. And then they're seeing this organic growth over time, right? Because a lot of people are like I said, I can 10 extra results. And it's like, can you handle that as a business? If you came in and all of a sudden your phone was ringing off the hook all day long, are you going to be able to make a good impression, handle all that? We sort of organically grow people over time. And we do that at an approachable rate and pace of investment, right? So it's not expecting someone to spend all of their time on marketing. It's taking that off of their plate.
And I love it and that is the thing that actually we have in common is the type of entrepreneurs that we serve.
Yes.
So yes, we see a lot of, especially online, but we see a lot of marketing experts who, yes, 10x your business, get 50 leads a day. And when we're in a service-based business, we don't need 50 leads a day first. And second, we can't handle 50 leads.
No, I can't. My calendar is already back to back. Like I am excited if I'm getting a cut. And I know that's different for every business, but from our perspective, it's organic growth over time rather than just everything all at once. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why our audience are similar. So we can give practical ideas and strategies and action for service-based entrepreneurs. So before we go in that, what are the mistakes you see entrepreneurs do with their marketing?
Yeah. So the number one mistake I see is rather than approaching their target audience with a solution, they approach a target audience with a giant list of everything that they offer.
Yes.
Oh. So you're on social media, you're posting, we can do this and we can do that and we can do this and we also this and we can do this add-on and we also have. And I think that instinctively we feel like if somebody knew everything that we did, one of those things is going to resonate, right? So we sort of word vomit out this big list of all the things that need to happen, or, I can do this and I can do that. And it's just overwhelming. It's not a solution. It's just a list. So, I think the solution there for that issue with marketing is to really stop and think about who your target audience is, what their pain points are, and then to be able to say, this is how my product or service solves your pain point. So the customer is the hero of the story per Dan Miller's story brand, right? The customer is the hero, not you. You are the guide to the solution.
Love that. Yes, the strategy, or I'll throw spaghetti on the wall and whatever sticks, that's what we're sticking. We see that. There's a thing that you mentioned of understanding who your target market is.
Right.
And when we talk about that, a lot of people think about, so my target market are men, entrepreneurs, 60 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And they look at a demographic.
And then what? Yeah.
Yes. Can you talk to us about that? Because that is the reality that I see with my clients. And I'm like, okay, no, your ideal client is not a 60-year-old men entrepreneur. And that's not it, because they're so different.
Right.
Can you speak on that?
Yeah, there's definitely variety there. So one of the things I do a branding workshop with our local SCORE chapter here in Nashville. And one of the things that we always start with demographics, because it's the easiest for people to fire off. Yes. So I always say, close your eyes. Right now, your ideal customer walks in the door. Describe them. Mm. And that allows people to get the demographics out, right? Age, gender.
That's the easy one.
The easy ones, right? The title, that kind of thing. What industry are they in? That kind of thing. But then from there, I say, okay, great. Now keep going. Think about the clients you've had in the past, the ones that were the best clients for you. You know, do they have kids? What side of town do they live on? What's their individual income? Not like, you know, hey, their business makes X, but like, you know, what kind of income level are they at as an individual, as a household, right? Do they have to have discretionary income to buy what you're selling? Mm-hmm. People don't think about that sometimes. They're like, well, anybody could buy, you know, private party planning services. You're like, absolutely, they could. Anyone could buy that, but who's going to buy that, right? So when you start to look at lifestyle and buying habits and geographic location and things that really describe the mindset of the person that you're talking to, it can really impact the messaging of your marketing. And then there, Sarah, you were talking about application, then it becomes, where are they receiving that message, right? Mm-hmm. So like, if I'm just trying to advertise to 60-year-old male entrepreneurs, there are hundreds of different platforms that I can do that on. But if I narrow it down and narrow it down and narrow it down, and I realize that most of those people are eating lunch in a 5-block radius around a giant hospital in Nashville, now I can put up graffiti bathroom ads specifically in the restaurant around the hospital and have a hyper-targeted approach to marketing.
Mm. Hmm. Love that. You also mentioned the pain point, which that is a huge, when I ask clients, I'm like, all right, so what is the pain point? What is the problem that you solve? An answer that I get almost all the time is like, well, all my clients are so different. Like, I don't know, you know, some of them want this, some of them want that. And I'm like, okay, well, what is the common thing? So how do you help them understand what is the problem? Like, what is the pain point that they solve?
Yeah. One of the things that we do is we go back to why they started the company. Because usually they started the company and picked this service or this product for a reason. Yes. And the reason is often very similar to the pain points that their clients are experiencing, right? So for me, when I started my firm, my marketing agency, I was unemployed. I was clinically depressed. I was trying to figure out how to market myself. Does that, you know what I mean? So I wasn't a business. I was trying to find a job, but I was trying to market myself. And what I was doing was my own social media and my own emails and my own blogs and, you know, trying to get out there and meet people and find this job. As I was doing that, I met all of these other business owners who were kind of small to mid-sized businesses that were saying, we don't have $80,000 to $100,000 to hire a large agency or an in-house marketing director. So we need help with marketing. We're struggling every day. It's not consistent. I'm up all night worrying about what I'm going to post on Twitter tomorrow. And I was I had that moment of solidarity where I was like, boy, you're telling me, because I have to do all this stuff and I'm just trying to get a job, let alone run a business. And then you start to find the common pain point, what you said, Sarah, right? Like, what's the commonality here? It's not just, hey, I need someone to post on social media.
No.
Right? You could easily find hundreds or thousands of people that can just post anything on social media for you. What you're looking for is consistent, quality, strategized marketing. And you need it for just a little bit of time, little outsource model at an affordable rate that you can budget into your, your annual P&L. Yes. That's the pain point. It's that you're up all night. You can't spend time with your family. You're stressed out. You don't know how to be a marketer because you went into business to do something else. Right. So I think that when you start to think about why did I start the business and sort of walk through that experience, you'll draw the similarities to, your clients that you've helped and kind of find that cohesion in the middle.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I love that so much because often we forget why we started the business.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So I think going back to, okay, why did I start this? Like, what was my pain point and what was my journey? And I don't know if you agree, but I find that our clients are living the journey that we lived.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We help entrepreneurs and business owners and franchise owners and things like that. And I am a small business owner. And so I am going to recommend to you the activities and the money spending and all of those things as if it were mine, because that's how I think, right? I think like a small business owner. So when I recommend something to a client, it's because I already did it for me.
Yes.
Like if I hire a new videographer, they do videos for Piccolo before we would ever recommend or sell them to clients. Right? If we're going to do new search engine optimization efforts, same thing. We're doing it for us. It's working for us. So I know I can make it work for you, because otherwise it's disconnected in a way that, it's hard to buy in.
Well, yes, I find that we don't talk the same way.
Yeah.
If I'm talking from here or if I'm talking from here, because I lived it, I went through it, I experimented, and I can talk with my clients of, what was that journey all about?
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Well, and again, here are the pain point. I can identify the pain points in a sales process because I have felt them.
Yes.
So when I know, I need to get video done on a regular basis. I need to be able to have not $3,000 per video, right?
Yes.
Because I don't get me wrong, we work with some amazing videographers, but I need short little social media clip videos. Clients don't have time to film them. They don't know what they're filming. They don't know how to edit. We've got to have this.
Yes.
It's 2021 ongoing. We've got to have consistent, solid video, right?
Yes.
I know that pain point as a business owner. So I seek out a solution, and then I'm able to bring that solution to my clients and say, I know you're feeling the same pain point.
And the solution is adapted. I love it. I once had a client call me. He goes, "Oh, so I approached this firm to do an introductory video on my website, and the cost was like a little bit over $10,000. Like, what do you think, Sarah?" I'm like, "I think it's crazy."
I will tell you, we work with some great videographers that make music videos and Coca-Cola commercials and all those things. And there are some projects where I say, it's worth it to have really nice video.
Yes.
But for the most part, what I have found is that when my clients come to me and ask me for my recommendation, what they're looking for is ROI. And so when they say, hey, how much money am I going to give you? Their next thought is, how much money is that going to make me?
Yes.
And so if I can't say, yes, please give me $10,000 for this video, and here are the 4 or 5 different ways that we're going to use it and how we're going to drum up new business with it, and then blah, 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 they become really hesitant. Now, that's not just small business owners or entrepreneurs. Like, we work with very large companies making tens of millions of dollars a year. It's that same mindset. It's that same pain point. They all have budgets. They all have, goals that they've got set, and you have to meet them. So it's not to say that we can't function at different levels, but we have to be able to understand the core pain point. And when you're going to market, be able to have solutions for that.
Love it. Love it. Oh yeah, because I was so shocked by that. And I was like, it's just an introductory. It's not just, but the mandate was a 4 or 5 minute clip to go on your website. And I'm like, yes, but marketing is just so much more than that, So yes, I like the whole approach like the holistic approach that we also need to take for our marketing.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. One of the challenges, again, when I was starting my company, so I just keep proving the point here, right? When I was starting my company, what I found was that there was a social media agency that you could hire to do social media. There was a company that would do search engine optimization and or digital ads, right? There was a company that did video, a different person who did photo, a different see where I'm going? A copywriter, right? An executive assistant. Not only is nobody talking, but the challenge is that each person is, and this is their job, they're giving you the best recommendation that they can for the thing they do. Right? So if you say, hey, I have a $40,000 marketing budget this year, the SEO company is going to try to spend all $40,000 of that.
Yes.
Because that's their job, is to give you the best recommendation for your budget with what they do. But the comprehensive nature is where you've got to be in a lot of different places and you have to do it consistently. And you have to be able to measure all the different little graphs and bars and say, this is the thing that's pulling in the most traffic or the biggest audience or the most engagement. Leads are coming from here, but they are impacted by all of these things. So we have to have all of them, but in what amounts, right? And so that, again, that was a pain point for me. So now it's like, hey, you need video. Most of our clients need photo and video, but we build it into a regular monthly retainer rather than doing a one-time giant video project, because it allows them to have a certain measured amount of fresh content coming in that we can maximize across all the platforms, right? So it really depends on how you're looking at, we're just talking about marketing. This doesn't even impact all of the other departments of your business, right?
So true.
Right. But the pain point there that you have as a business owner is likely one that your clients have as well. They have some kind of pain point that your solution is going to uniquely solve.
Love it. So now, what should an entrepreneur do to maybe reevaluate, optimize, maybe even have a framework on, okay, so now what I do with my marketing? What would the steps do you recommend? Yeah.
So I think the first thing is to kind of audit. And I know auditing is not fun and I hate the word audit. Nobody likes it. I get it. But that's the first thing we do. When we start working with a client, even before we've signed them, if somebody calls and says, hey, I'm interested in, marketing, what are you going to do for me? I'm like, I'll call you back in a few days. Because I go online and we audit and we say, what does your website look like? Right? Is it working? Is it converting? Is it, bringing in new emails or leads? How does it compare to other people in your industry or your field? Right? Most of the time we find that our clients that don't have great websites know they don't have great websites, but they made it and they checked it off their list 2 to 9 years ago. And they said, that's done now. And they kind of moved along. Right. But they know in the back of their head somewhere that it needs to be updated. So
I can imagine like a 9-year website. Yeah, it needs a little bit of the freshness.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've had some front page builders before and we're like, oh, bless you. So, kind of looking over competition, things like social media, if you're posting on social media consistently or not. And you asked me earlier, biggest mistakes. You don't need to be posting 4 times a day. Most companies can post a few times a week. And as long as they're engaging well, that's enough. It's a digital legitimacy, right? Unless you're going to go whole hog into social media, you just need that consistency and subject matter expertise. Same thing with emails and blogs and photos and videos, kind of get a snapshot of where you are. And then you can either say, well, this is where we are, and write down, this is where we want to be, right? In terms of activity or your growth goals, or you could call around and say, hey, I need to speak with some marketing agencies, with some people who do strategy, and figure out what your options are. Right. So you don't have to have all the answers, but if you're able to say, this is where we are and this is where we'd like to be, then you can start to create that step-by-step roadmap, either as a team internally or hiring someone outside. And it doesn't always have to be they do it for you. Like, post-COVID, we've had a lot of people that are like, we can't afford to hire someone to do it for us. We need to do it ourselves, but we need guidance, right? We need a guide on the road, right? And so we created a marketing mentor program. So it's like, hey, on a monthly basis, we'll do a call and check in with you. We will help you define the path. We will check accountability and numbers and help you understand everything. So I want your audience to hear me say this. You don't have to have $50,000 to just like hire someone to do all your marketing in order to make a really big impact. Simply having a monthly focus on it and sort of batching out some things will move you in the right direction.
I love that because it's that consistency that gets to people. And the key in marketing is, yes, having the right message in front of the right people, but also having it in a consistent way. And that's where we lose it as entrepreneurs. Like we see Facebook page that haven't been updated in 3 months and LinkedIn profiles that, nothing is going on. And it's like,
we had one that was 2 years old. They hadn't updated. And we were like, oh, look, you posted a picture for Halloween. That's great. Cause it was almost Halloween. And they're like, that was from 2 years ago. It just happens that we stopped posting around this time of the year. And we were like, you look closed. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so many, like, I'll have entrepreneurs like, we want to start doing a blog and it's going to be every week. And then I touch base with them later on or whatever. And they're like, yeah, no, we did it for like 2 months. And then we couldn't do it anymore.
We couldn't do it anymore. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. You're talking about frequency, right? So it is more important to have a long-term, consistent marketing plan than it is to have a flash in the pan. And it's just like, and I know this sounds funny. It's like any sort of habit, right?
Yes.
If you have not been working out for a very long time, or you've never worked out, the chances that you're going to go from never working out to working out 6 or 7 days a week, that's not sustainable. You are statistically more likely to do that for a week or two, to skip a few days, to get burnout, and to stop doing it altogether, period. Rather than saying, hey, I've never worked out before, or I'm not really in the habit. I'm going to start doing it 2 days a week. And I'm going to do it 2 days a week for at least 3 months. And once I've done it for that long, I have developed a healthy habit. And then I'm going to see if I can do it 3 days a week. It's the same thing with blogs and with social posting and with email blasts. Like, if you've not been blogging, you're not going to suddenly find the time to just produce a blog every week or twice a week.
No. And I tell people, I'm like, you'll see like 30 days, even if you do it on 30 days and every month, you're going to see 30 days comes really fast.
So fast. Yeah.
It's like, Oh, I love it because it's the foundation, right? Understand your ideal client or your market's pain point. Understand who they are, understand their target market, have an audit. I love the word audit. Audit.
I'm glad you love it. Most of our clients are like, ew. I'm like, no, it's really great. We're going to do it. It's going to be great.
And at the same time, it's like, this gives us a 360 snapshot of exactly where you are today.
Yep. Yeah.
So having that audit of saying, okay, looking at it in, like setting up on the table and looking at it, it's like, this is where we are now.
Yes.
This is where we want to go.
And data in marketing, as you know, hugely important.
Yes.
So if you're trying to measure success based off your gut and how you're feeling about things, like, it's going to be very hard to see success through marketing, right? But if you say snapshot, this is where we are. This is how many followers we have. This is how many people are on our email list. This is how many people are visiting the website every day. And then you say, this is what we want the number to be. The in between, this is measurable. In between and to your goal is measurable. And if you don't have those metrics, it just becomes kind of that, your thumb in the air going like, is the wind blowing the right direction?
Yeah, you're winging
right. Are we going north? Like, maybe it gets better one day and maybe it doesn't, but like you have to have that data. So being able to produce a report and say, this is what we did for you. These are the activities. And then also, here are the results. And because of the results, here's how we're going to pivot. Here's what we're going to add. Here's what we're going to move away from, is invaluable.
And this is what works. So let's do more of that. This doesn't work. So let's stop that.
Yes. Yes. By the way, can we talk, Sarah, about, this is something that has been really interesting to me. And I know that this is not true with all companies, B2B kind of businesses, But one of the things that I think is a really big sort of misnomer about marketing is that if you hire a marketing company, they have some sort of like secret formula under lock and key of exactly how to make your business just explode. And that like, if you pay enough money for it, they will just give you the recipe. And it's like, that does not exist. Yes. It doesn't. And I have been in mastermind programs with huge social media people and like master marketers and all these things. And when we go and say, hey, what do you think about this? They always say, test it. Test it.
Thank you, because many entrepreneurs are like, I'll send you a check. Could you just make it happen? And I'm like,
I could test the first theory and then I could come back to you with information and we can tweak and adjust from there. But a lot of people think that if you have to go back to an agency or a company and say, hey, we had this theory A, and we tested it and some things were working and some things didn't, they think that all of a sudden you have to not work with that company anymore.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I guess we can't work together anymore because it's not working. And it's like, no, we're just going to change what we're doing and we're going to test theory B. And then we're going to get a little better and we're going to come back to you. And so that sort of overnight success or the secret formula of marketing, I have just not experienced that to exist anywhere. So to all of those listeners out there or those viewers out there, it's not there. It is elusive. It is a made up marketing scheme to get you to buy things. If you're really doing long-term consistent marketing, it's going to take a minute to find your exact formula.
Your formula. And what I find, especially in a service-based business, the marketing firm that you work with, they also need to understand your tone.
Yes.
So some of them will work, some of my clients will work with other firms, or I'll speak with entrepreneurs. They're like, yeah, but they posted something on social media, but it's just not me. And I'm like, okay, but do you know how you talk?
Do you know? And did you tell them?
Yes. Well, often they don't know even. So they
that's fair.
Tell them because they don't even know it. So I'm like, they're not in your head.
Oh yeah. No.
So there needs to be that, working together. So yes, it will take efforts on the entrepreneur's point of view, because they need to clarify things and they need to communicate things, and then we need to test things.
Yeah. And we actually try to warn our prospective clients about that up front. Look, when we start working with you, we're going to have a launch call. We're going to get your strategy made. In the first 2 months, we have a higher check-in call frequency with our clients because of exactly what you just said. We need to get to know you. We need to get feedback on the tone and the messaging and the focus and the frequency and all those things. And it's not bad. So if we're serving you social media posts to review and approve, and it doesn't quite hit what you would have done, it's not wrong. It's that you need to tell us how you would have written it so that we can communicate the tone and the message and the voice. And then usually within the first couple of months, we've gotten enough feedback that we're nailing it. And then all of a sudden clients are like, oh, I don't even have to look at this anymore. This is amazing. And it's like, right, you need to do a little bit of training and growth up front. And if we didn't nail it the first time, the exact way you would have done it, it's not a fireable offense. It's a discussion point,
Love it. And to also put it back in perspective that as an entrepreneur, that is exactly what they do with their clients.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We forget to, switch the roles around, because with our clients, we take the time to get to know them. What do they want? What are their dreams? What are their fears? What are their aspirations, to be able to guide them properly?
Right.
Well, it's the same thing here.
Oh, right. Right. So, and interestingly, it's funny that you're saying the thing that you do is, for you and your clients is it's hard to switch the roles.
Yes.
So one of the things that we have found, I think I mentioned earlier about efficiencies, is that our team is very good at operational efficiencies. And over COVID, we had a lot of companies start to reach out to us and say, we know that you're a remote-based company and you are really good at project management systems, workflow development, templates, like all those kind of things. Can you teach us or help us? Because we've never been fully remote before. Can you figure this out and help us? And we were like, yeah, absolutely. Like everybody's helping everybody right now, let's figure it out. And so we started doing that. And one of the interesting things there is that we started to get calls from other marketing agencies.
Oh, wow.
other market, first of all, there's plenty of business for everyone, right? It's like, I look at like, I'll cooperate with all of my competition because like there's plenty of business, right? But what we found is that we are so systemized, what we talked about, right? Consistency and efficiency, timeliness. This is exactly how long it takes and how we measure the testing, that when we go into other marketing agencies, a lot of them tend to be on the more creative side than we are, right? Which is great. We partner with those agencies anyway. But when we're able to go in and say, let's create you a full top to bottom onboarding sequence. Or you are handling social media for other clients, but it's a bunch of creatives doing it and they're not meeting their deadlines and it's killing your profitability, right? We can come in and create a whole system for that with deadlines and little training videos and all that stuff. So we actually found when you're talking about switching the roles and putting yourself in the seat of being a client, being the client, right? That is something that when I did that exercise for myself, I realized that like, my competition can actually be another vertical for business and partnerships. So it's not just like, hey, you need to learn how to like treat your vendors better. It's no, like take a step back, look at what's happening and how you work with people and think, how can I work differently with people? Where are there opportunities for marketing or for biz dev or for just like referral, like just partnerships that you may not have considered before?
So true. So true. And I love that. Yes. Systems then brings that consistency. Some entrepreneurs are allergic to system because it's going to take away my freedom. And I'm like, no, that will actually give you the freedom.
So much. Well, and for me, I am so systems oriented. Like, again, like we have creative people at our team that do that, but like I am so systems oriented that it was, to scale my business. So when I started, it was just me. And then I got like 17 clients in 6 months. And I was like, I can't do all of this. Right. So you start hiring people and everyone's fear as a business owner is even if I hire someone, they won't do it the way I do it. They won't be as good. They won't be as fast. They won't, whatever it is. Right. And I was like, nope, we're going to train them from day one. This is how we do it here. This is the way we sold it. This is the way we executed and so on. And then it just grew from there. So I'm a systems person. And when I come into people and they're like, I don't have time to put all that together because I've got 400 unread emails and all of these things. And we're just like, tell me more about how a 2 or 3 hour strategy session with planning out your systems is going to keep you from being more productive. Yeah.
Yes. It's like, at one point, if I'm driving, I need to stop to put gas if I want to continue driving.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sometimes it's like you're running and you're running and you're running. And I use this analogy. I was like, you're kind of jogging all the time, but you need to be running harder or sprinting, but you've been jogging for so long that you don't have the stamina to do that. Yes. Sometimes you have to slow down to a walk or to pause for a minute to get things in order, to let your body rest, to clean some things up, take a deep breath, and then you can start sprinting, right? And it's the same thing, like with your marketing, with your systems, you have to be able to say, okay, deep breath. Where am I? Where do I want to go? Here's the plan. Run.
Love it. Love it. Tell me, where can people find you online to get more information? Maybe I love the idea of the mentorship program. We hadn't spoken about that. So I find that is such a key. Where can people find more information on you, your offering, and all the good information that also you're sharing in your blog and whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find us at piccolosolutions.com. And that will have all the information about not only our marketing stuff, our marketing mentor program, but also all of the operations and efficiency systems that we set up for companies. And one thing that I'll mention, Sarah, we had not talked about this, but I'd love to be able to offer anyone who's watching or listening. I will kind of offer a free marketing mentor session. So normally we have them sign up for like a 6-month coaching plan and that kind of thing. But if it would be helpful to your audience to kind of get a little assistance with their audit, I would be happy to have our team do that and kind of do like an initial session to give them an idea of what it's like and what they're looking for, so that whether, it's looking at our stuff and working with us or hiring another marketing agency or doing it themselves, they can kind of get a better idea of what the options are.
I love it. Thank you. No, we hadn't spoken about that. So thank you. You know, there's definitely a lot of perks of being together in the Forbes Coaches Council family, you know?
Oh yeah. No, it's great. It's great. I've met some wonderful people in the Forbes Coaches Council.
Oh yes. So thank you for all the information. Thank you for all the insight. It's really giving a clear path for the people watching this. And thank you very much for this special offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
For all your generous insight that you share with us. Thank you so
Sure thing. I really appreciate you having me.
Thanks. Wow. I hope you like this episode. And seriously, I think I'm going to take also like the free audit, the free consult, because you know what? Having that consistency. I love the mentoring program. I think it's such a great idea of just having somebody guide you every step of the way, making sure, hey, doing this, doing that. I love the idea because often it's in that consistency that we lose ourselves. How often is we don't measure our marketing. So we don't know what works, what doesn't work. We just throw spaghetti on the wall. And I see entrepreneurs, a lot of entrepreneurs sharing articles that are very, you know, information driven, but it's not pain point driven. So I hope you like this episode. If you did, obviously, please give it a thumbs up. And you know what? If you're looking for more tools to build and grow your service-based business, come on over to our website, sarahgilbert.coach. Subscribe to our newsletters where you're going to get this insight and so much more straight in your inbox. So thank you for being here week after week, and I will see you next Tuesday.